Hi, I'm Danielle Dreilinger. I have two poems to read, and both have a sense of place, but neither one is a Somerville sense of place. First one is a real-life experience, the kind that makes your friends say, "You did what?" And it's called house hunting. Lights veer around the curve, 60 miles per hour, 23 degrees. Either side, deer lie bellies against the snow to keep warm. The moon glints silver off the snowfields like a bright watch face. A crumpled car, a stunned deer, two men lugging to a truck bed crowded with gear. Blood drips on the amps. The deer shudders, then dies. The kid is scared. We drive the deer home. I don't know it's illegal. Outside, 2 a.m., 17 degrees. Wind sharp around the corner of the house, the concrete pad. I hold the book. You dip ungloved fingers. I hold its legs. Steam rises from its belly. Blood freezes on the snow. 2 days it hangs in the woodshop we walk through to exit or enter the house. I stop noticing. You fret about the meat freezing. The deer's detached head is furry and black-nosed as a teddy bear, its eyes open, calm. Finally, 7 hours, 2 knives. Josh comes by. The two of you smoke pot. I sharpen your knife once, thrice, I lose count. Pencil shavings peel to the floor. I cut the muscles into smaller and smaller pieces. We talk on the way up, 6.5 hours. We don't talk on the way back, 6.5 hours. Pizza leadens in the stomach. We cook the shoulder into sausage, ground with ginger and sage. The house has dust balls. The house has wood chips, sawdust, plaster, boot mud, cat hair, all rolled into fuzz. Shop back by the door. The house has a freezer so full you tape its door shut. You tape the door shut. I grind the sausage incorrectly. Deer meat gets in everything. Multi-course meals are cooked and thrown away. You throw the head and carcass out back for coyotes. Sausage-topped pizza leadens in the gut. You cleaned the innards. You took care to cut around the anus and urethra, not spoil the meat with the noisome shit within. The hide lies draped over the woodpile, decapitated. I want that head. I want those eyes, steady patron watcher of someone else's house, but you ditched it, and well then, there you are. I want that head by my doorways, accepting me. I want that head lying on my dash, leaving the last time with 1/10 the meat I butchered. Curves at 60 miles per hour. The last I saw, that truck bed still had blood spilled on the amps. And the second poem is a shorter one on a similar topic, and it's called Blood Boxes Birds. Dropped the knife, haft one way, blade the other. Linoleum thunk. 2 rooms up by down, one heated, one cold. Wood stoves wave heat in the air, but the upstairs stays chill, even when you fan it. They say your heart is a box you can never share fully with another. And it's true. Lie up against that warm, beating body, bursting. You can still have not much to say. 2 women own that house, he points. Sun burning cold off corrugated metal. Passive solar. I'd build the barn first. Live one room on top, like an attic, sky ceiling, then build the rest. No room for you, not said. And oh, how like a stab it was. The cleft between his beefy heart chest and solar plexus as he stood stork-legged, dripping water on the mat, hands stretched for the towel. Curry-colored leaves smeared brilliant behind the glass. Bird blazes its beating wings, feeling me watch him and him not watching back.
This is an excerpt of the time that I spent living and working in Greece and the different contrasts I experienced between living and actually vacationing in Greece and how different they are. And this piece is called 77 Notara Street. The city of Piraeus and its mother country are different to me now. Fall in Greece, Greece in practicum, can be very ugly when you have summer's brilliant turquoise skies and thick jasmine nights to look back on. Standing before this gray, decaying building on Notara Street, I see the contrast. It comes in the form of a pollution death hug. It's all around this building and this nation, that color of erosion. These days and nights have an atmosphere of dread. Those days and nights have a feeling of magic about to come on. Summer evenings on the island of Corfu were spent dancing on sticky tables surrounded by drunken youths cheering. Their hands pounded on bar countertops, while disco lights spun their candied colors of blue, red, and yellow onto the walls. Door-sized windows were pushed open to give party gluttons their much-needed sea air. Looking out into that August night, the deep black ocean slept restlessly, knowing that it would bear the burden of tomorrow's adventurers skidding on jet skis, kicking paddle boats, and gliding by on yachts. Sore hung-over swimmers threaded through her deepness for a healing that only salt water can provide. I didn't pay attention to Piraeus' brownish haze last summer. It was just a jumping-off point to an island destination. I was blindly anticipating the brilliance of a vacation in Greece. I should have noticed the Trojan-sized ships holding dry cargo and crude. It is the country's real mainstay. In November, no cruise vessels bob with tourists, only metal and oil. The tankers release greasy residue on the water, coating it, while waiting obediently to depart. They stare back at their masters, working in their offices, brokering deals, wearing Armani suits. In the midst of all this, I stand on the cracked marble sidewalk of Notara Street, in the form of this concrete shoebox building where I would work for the next 3 months. I mill and hustle in the streets, keeping carbon exhaust and factory belch company while trying to convince clients to advertise in a paper I no longer believed in. Going up dark stairwells with the stench of stale tobacco filling my nose and lungs, I always think of the clean sea air of the islands. My heels clack and echo up the stone stairs. They cease their ruckus when I reach the top. My hand pushes the door open and I see my boss. He sits in his plump velvet furniture like a sultan. His office, like this city, like this shipping business, is dark and secretive. Lights are always remain dim, resembling a cheap restaurant, the triple X theaters, and whorehouses just a few storefronts down. These places and people satisfy a sailor's primitive wants of fire-skewered meat on a stick and sex. Just 14 months ago, I was in that same country with the intentions only to flirt with strange foreign young men and dress in skirts with slits raised to my thigh. I didn't care about consequences then. I could indulge in being part of the country's loose atmosphere. Now it just turns my stomach. While on the island of Corfu, my skin was always covered with salty air. My sandals would lazily snap towards the chalk-white villas to rest before a night's glamour began. On my way, I passed tiny white storefronts, their blue shutters open, showing gold, silver, and jeweled buds of ruby and sapphire. I walked through them as though in a dream, my sinuses and imagination filled with the heavy smell of jasmine and gardenias. Roaming the streets now is no pleasure. It exhausts me walking for hours, surrounded by carbon fog and cafe-lounging sailors. I am weary of motorbikes whipping by me, carrying fast food orders of egg and meat to shipbrokers working late into the night. I am disgusted by the buses on Polytechnio Street that don't have proper pollution control. I hear confused pedestrians looking up into the sky, mistakenly predicting rain, when in fact it was just the smog that made things cloudy, not Mother Nature. I am tired of seeing the suds turn brown and frothy in my bathtub when I try to wash Piraeus out of my hair. No, it was not at all like last summer. The air then was free and open, allowed to change from one side of the island to the other, cleaning itself and shedding any carcinogens created by revelers. It was not trapped by enormous tankers and clustered cement buildings, green, blue, and white there, gray, brown, and ash here. Irony sinks its claws into this country, and my memory, grabbing hold forever. It is a different country, a different world from last year.